Today, we're ranking the top 15 centers in NBA history.
This is it, man. Last one.
Not last one. Last one
The
in the
final.
positional series.
Last position.
Last position,
In
but
the
we
position, yes.
to hype it up, we are gonna do a top 50 players of all time. We won't go one by one because that video would take 10 hours. Obviously. We'll probably go in like 5-player chunks until we get to the top 10. But yeah, look forward to that. We will be doing a top 50 NBA players of all time.
Again, this one's very similar to power forward. We're just going to force a bunch of old head names because current centers really haven't been great outside of one, possibly two. You know, we'll see.
We'll see. Hey, look, well, the center list is just stronger than the power forward list is. Let's start with that. But also, you consider like 70% of NBA history to be old heads, so obviously that's going to take up the majority of the list then if you consider all of them old heads.
Well, like, come on,
If it
bro.
didn't
70s
happen
and
in
80s.
the last 20 years.
That's old. That's old. Now, they're not ancient, but they're old.
To me, 90s is not old head. 70s,
No.
60s is what I think like old head.
Yeah, Jim Crow basketball. If you play Jim Crow basketball, you can be old.
Bob Pettit, by the way, definitely was Jim Crow basketball. I don't know if you guys know this.
Yeah.
Do you know what the Bob stands for?
Robert?
Beat out blacks.
Yeah, it's... Okay. We're not starting the video like that. What is wrong with you?
Editor, please cut that out. We're trying to get a sponsorship.
Why do you say editor as if I'm not the editor? You're talking to me.
Editor, cut that out.
Cam, you were correct. It is Robert. That's because his full name is Robert E. Lee Pettit, and that's not even a joke.
Wow.
That's not even a joke.
Like
After
Robert E. Lee or Robert E-A-L-Y?
No, Robert E. Lee, brother. Like the general.
Like after Robert E. Lee.
I'm just making sure. I can't make sure.
No, Cam don't know who Robert E. Lee is.
Who's Robert E. Lee?
No, I know he was like a general during the Civil War.
All right,
Okay, all right.
Yes, I know my history.
So yeah, that's real, by the way. That's his name. So, you know, definitely I would consider him Jim Crow basketball.
That's
Well, I mean,
wow.
my nickname wasn't too far off then, you know? I mean, he's named after Robert E. Lee, bro. Come on.
All right, let's start the list. That's a power
Moving
forward.
on.
Let's start the list. Zach, lately you've been kicking off the list because your 15s have been crazy.
You had the craziest 15 to start the power forward.
I don't think so. Oh, I had the craziest. What did Cam have at 15?
Who was Cam's 15?
Brother, the whole person that started this entire series. What do you mean?
Oh. Yeah, but like, that was fake. Yours was the craziest of actual belief.
Hey, he's standing by it, so, you know. Why don't we let Cam kick it off this time?
I was very much conflicted. I think Zach believes this guy wouldn't be on the list, but I really look at these other guys and I say, well, when I match their careers as well as who they were as a player, their talent, what did they produce on the court, I feel like this guy should get the nod. At 15, I have Joel Embiid.
And you know what? Guess what? We're starting off the list on a great note, Cam, because at number 15, I have Joel Embiid.
We're on the same
Wavelength to start the
thinking
video.
what I was thinking.
We'll see if that
Yes.
stays. It
I love
hasn't been the case
Probably
through the rest
not.
of the video.
It hasn't
Probably
happened
not.
yet. It hasn't happened yet. We were talking about this before we got started, that 15 really could go anywhere. I mean, up to like 21 maybe, or 20. If this dude's your 15, it's like, okay, I see how you got there. Where you're just kind of picking that over this. It's not really that crazy of a gap. We haven't had the same 15 at all. And that streak breaks today. Because
Wow.
at number 15, I'm trusting the process. It's a gross name. Reason I gave him the nod over guys that you might have on this list, honestly. I don't know. Current day, tougher competition, fits the mold for my MO this entire series.
I don't think it has to do anything necessarily with like current day, tougher competition. I expected you guys not even to have him because you guys have shown that you guys don't care about the current players at all. The MVP does move me. Obviously, the playoff performance, not the best, which is why he's this low. The injuries have really derailed his career. I don't know if he's ever going to be able to climb up higher than he is right now. We'll see, but it's not looking good.
Probably not.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think what he's shown in his career so far and the short peak that he had is equivalent.
Enough.
Yeah, and it's like the center list is much stronger than the power forward list. His career is not too dissimilar to a guy like Chris Webber that we had really high on the power, or at least Cam and I had really high on the power forward list. So,
And then somebody just didn't have him. That was kind of crazy.
That was
I
kinda
must have
crazy.
missed Chris Webber's championship celebration. I must have missed all of that. That's my apologies. My fault. I must have missed it where he was an NBA champion. My apologies. I'm sorry.
You value the ring culture way too high for somebody that had Chris Paul at number 3 on the point guard list.
Hey, listen here. He took us to the finals, okay? You let me be. He took us to the finals.
And Chris Webber would have taken the Kings to the finals if it wasn't for Dim Donahue, okay? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, we would have won the finals if it wasn't for Scott Foster. So Chris Webber can cry over a ref. I can cry over one too.
If it wasn't for that Greek freak who gave y'all the worst reverse sweep.
Okay. All right. Moving on.
He was looking at y'all. He said Greek salad, falafel, pita wrap, barbecue chicken, doesn't matter.
No, but that's why I value rings so much. But that's why I value rings so much, because as a fan of a franchise who doesn't have one, I understand how difficult it is to get one. So the guys that have done it, I give the nod to them because they've done something that my team has never been able to do.
Point being, the process to me, talent-wise, could be a top 7 center on this list. He's like Arman said, he hasn't had the playoff performances, and injuries has absolutely derailed his career. But I think if I look at that 15 through 20 range, I'm like, okay, all of these guys are on the same level except one, and that is Joel Embiid.
I think there's 15 through 19. I wouldn't have been mad if any of them were on the list as well. I think all of them are very close. There are like 2 or 3 other guys where they are the same talent level as Joel Embiid and had a very similar thing where their careers fell off because of injuries.
Like who?
Well, I have one of them on my list, so we can get into it right now. At my number 14.
I know who it is.
At my number 14 is the guy I'm talking about. Bill Walton is my number 14.
Bill Walton, yeah.
You think Bill Walton, talent-wise, was as good as...
He won an MVP, and the tiebreaker between him and Joel Embiid is that he won a championship as the best player on the team, won a finals MVP before the injury. That's the difference for me.
He did.
For 2 years, again, it's extremely short. But for 2 years, he's one of the best center peaks of all time, undisputedly.
No, I'm not mad at that at all. Bill Walton is one of the first ones right off the list.
Oh, what? So you don't even have him on?
I don't.
Me
He is one
neither.
of my honorable mentions. I don't want to say all of my honorable mentions. Probably as we get closer to the top, when we're like, all right, there's no way these dudes shouldn't ever be here, we can start to get to. But Bill Walton is one of them. At my number 14, you guys actually might have this guy a little bit higher because he was the best center in the NBA for several years. I know how much you value that. The only issue was he couldn't get it done as the number 1 option, although he did have some chances. But his ring came a lot later in his career. But he still is an NBA champion.
No way!
No freaking way.
I'm walking off if you did this shit.
Oh my God. No. Wow. That's crazy. Oh,
At number
wow.
14.
My brain hurts. We were doing so good.
We started so well, and you're
so
about to do
good.
something. Just say it. Just say it. You're about to do something insane.
Is it insane?
Yes, just say it.
Yes.
Go ahead.
At number 14, I have Dwight Howard.
That's not real. That's not real, bro.
That is real.
Yeah,
was-
come on.
again.
I need you back
Again.
here, Cam.
A headache, dog. I have a headache. Bro, I don't know how we start on such a similar page. And then Zach's just like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. It just fucks the entire list up. I mean, just takes the paper shredder just down the drain.
Do I get a chance to defend?
Go, yeah, give your
ahead.
argument. Go ahead.
This is kind of like the first current player-ish in this era that I disrespected. Dwight Howard, don't get me wrong, was fantastic. He was the best center in the NBA for several years. He ran into some tough competition in the East, which is why he couldn't get over the hump when he was with the Magic. But as the best player on his team, he wasn't producing rings. He wasn't producing wins.
Got
He wasn't
to the
producing-
finals.
Again, but when I want to bring up my players getting to the finals, and it's like, oh yeah, whatever. Dwight Howard was great. He had a lot of help, but he couldn't do it. Couldn't get him over the hump until he was on the super team.
A lot of help
The guy
in
you
terms
say
of
led you to the finals is still top 5, by the way.
what was his team with the Magic that you say got a lot of help? Rashard Lewis, Mikhail Petrus, and Jameer Nelson. That's a lot of help going up against Kobe and Powell. Come on.
Do they even have Hito Turkoglu?
I think they did. Yeah.
Turk was there.
Hito Turkoglu. Turkoglu was solid.
There are not 13 centers better than Dwight Howard all time. I'm sorry to tell you.
Not even close.
There's just not.
There are.
Can I ask you a question? Dwight Howard or Carmelo Anthony?
That I was about
Would I
to
rather
say the
have all
same
time?
thing.
Yeah.
The fact that you have to think about that is why this is crazy.
Not even close.
Because
not even close.
You have Carmelo Anthony on a pedestal, but Dwight Howard was a way better player than Carmelo ever was at his peak. Than he ever was.
That's not even close.
Was.
Without a doubt, for his peak, for 5-6 years, the best defensive player in the league, no doubt about it, and was still at the same time a top 10 player offensively in the league. Incredibly dominant on the offensive side of the ball. In playoff situations, they had to foul him. I'm not saying he was Shaq level, but they were fouling him like he was Shaq. Your 15 was Joel Embiid. Career-wise, I think he's closer to Patrick Ewing than he is to Joel Embiid.
No.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, 1,000%.
Again,
1,000%.
okay, he was a phenomenal player, but he was also a regular season player, as is Joel Embiid, by the way. I'm not going to sit here and say that Joel Embiid's crazy when he gets to the playoffs. The same reason for Dwight Howard's case, the same thing as Joel Embiid's case, is that it's regular season. It's great. You had a great regular season career.
He went
all
to
of the
finals.
guys that are getting ready, everybody that's getting ready to come above Dwight Howard on my list was not only the best player on their team, but the best player on a championship winning team.
But you know the difference between talent level and the rings because you had Carmelo that high. Because you had Tracy McGrady at number 8. You know the difference.
Yeah. I'm seriously wondering if you've ever watched him play basketball before 2013.
Dwight Howard was great. Orlando Magic, Dwight Howard was phenomenal. His career kind of took a turn for the worse after that, and Taiwan definitely isn't helping out his scenario. But he was a great regular season player. He was a phenomenal regular season player.
You got it. I'm not letting you define him as a regular season player. I'm sorry. He beat LeBron James in an Eastern Conference Final Series. I'm not letting you say he's a regular season player.
One time.
How many other people have done it in the history of ever?
Beat LeBron in the playoffs?
Obviously, it's some of the greatest players of all time. It's Steph Curry. It's Kevin Durant. It's at least when we're talking about the best player on the team, right? It's Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce, and it's Dwight Howard, man.
Yep.
And it's Dwight Howard. It's Nikola Jokic too, by the way. It's Nikola Jokic. These are some of the best players of all time, and you're calling him a regular season player.
He was a regular season player.
He was a all-around great player. Peak was short. That's the only reason he's not going to be higher than where I have him.
I'm not sitting here saying that he was a scrub. Like, I will acknowledge that he was the best center in the NBA. He was the best defender in the NBA as well. The reason why he doesn't get the hype and doesn't get the I'm going to put him in the top 10 conversation, because at this point I feel like you guys might have this dude like top 6.
On the center list, of course not. Okay. Center is the most stacked position at the top, without a doubt. At the top is the most stacked. I would say there are about 7-8 players in the center list that are top 25 all time.
If we're now classifying a trip to the NBA Finals as the best player on the team as solidifying your legacy, then I want all apologies on Devin Booker. I want every single apology.
No,
you cannot be arguing that
Devin Booker isn't Dwight Howard.
Yeah, you cannot be arguing that Devin Booker is the same talent level as Dwight Howard.
Beat LeBron in the playoffs, didn't he? Devin Booker's in that
conversation. And Anthony Davis got hurt, by the way. Also, Chris Paul might have been the best player on that team. Just saying.
No,
he definitely was.
Chris Paul is one of the best players of all time.
You just said he led y'all to the finals. You don't lead somebody to the finals without being the best player.
Chris Paul was the glue of the team. He wasn't the star. He was the glue.
He was the glue, and he was the best.
Together. Chris Paul finished higher in MVP voting that year. So you know what? I'm taking it off that. All right, Cam. Let's see if we. Oh no, you already said you don't have Bill Walton at 14, so we're not going to match up.
No, my 14. I feel like it might be maybe a little controversial, but I have a good reason for it. I have Dikembe Mutombo.
No, Mutombo is not above Bill Walton. I listed to 21. Mutombo is my 20, and he was not one of the ones where I was like 15 would have been okay. I don't think he can be on this list.
I didn't even have Dikembe as an honorable mention.
Dikembe Mutombo. He's the best shot blocker ever, like easily. Like there's no competition.
Highlight wise, yes, he is not a better shot blocker than Bill Russell.
Okay, who was Bill Russell
Will Chamberlain
blocking?
Will Chamberlain?
Yeah. Yeah, get him, Cam. Get him, Cam.
Will Chamberlain, brother.
Who is Bill?
Will Chamberlain.
Okay, name somebody else.
I don't know. Jerry West, Elgin Baylor, all in the finals. What are you talking about? I stuttered for a second.
They were all six.
And you interrupted me the whole time. I need to actually say what I was saying. Jerry West and Elgin Baylor in the finals constantly. That's who he was blocking. He's the best defensive player of all time, really.
No.
The
Dikembe played in the hardest center era ever.
Also, Akeem is definitely better than him.
Yeah, no shit. But I didn't say best defensive player. I said the best shot blocker.
I would say Akeem's a better shot blocker too.
I don't think so. Anyway, point being,
I think Dwight might be a better shot blocker than
no.
That's debatable.
No.
That's debatable.
He played against Shaq. He played against Hakeem. He played against the Admiral. He played against Tim Duncan. He played against Ralph Sampson. That motherfucker was 7'5".
Ralph Sampson was not good by the time Dikembe played.
Ralph Sampson was. Yeah.
Manute Bol, come on. Manute Bol averages like 8 points a game. Come on.
He's just trying to name tall people to make it sound
I understand he's a great defensive player. We know, and he played against a lot of great competition. He's an incredible defensive player. He was a 3-time defensive player of the year. I get that.
Exactly. That's why I have him on here.
But this position is very deep, and he is offensively very limited and did not have playoff success until he got to the 76ers and played alongside Allen Iverson. There are too many guys that at the center position are just too great. Namely, Bill Walton, who you don't have on the list, who is an MVP and a finals MVP and a champion. All things that Dikembe Mutombo does not have.
Does not have.
No.
Dikembe was great.
Right,
like he was a great defensive player, and he brought a lot of energy. Like that's a great player to have on your team to know somebody that's there to protect the rim. But I didn't have him in my 20. I thought that there was more options, like Bill Walton, namely. At this point, I don't think we're gonna have the rest of my honorable mentions. So we'll save that to the end of guys that could have made the list. Yes. So I don't spoil it.
Because there is still somebody on your list that I don't have, so I don't want it spoiled who I have in my honorable mentions.
It could be my number 13. Honestly, for me, this was kind of where I started to think like, okay, Dwight could make the jump here. The reason I gave this guy the nod, although he did play a lot earlier. I always get confused on that. Earlier than Dwight did. He had a great career. He has 2 rings, 2 finals MVPs in 10 seasons, and he has one of the most legendary games ever when it comes down to being the guy on the court and going out there and willing your team to victory. A name that we've had on this podcast before, mainly because Arman thought he played for the Wizards his entire career and not the New York Knicks. Number 13, I do have Willis Reed.
I don't even remember what you're talking about. It was just some trivia, probably, I'm sure.
It was the all 32 teams.
Oh yeah, because I mixed up the name with I mixed his name up with Wes Unseld. That's why.
Yeah, he was a Knick, Armand. He was a New York
I
Knick.
know. The conversation between him and Dwight is valid. They're both lower than I have him. I do have Willis Reed on this list. I don't know who you have above him. That's really what I'm wondering. You having Willis Reed above Dwight is fine. Like you said, 2-time MVP, 2-time finals MVP, 2-time champion. I think he's a 2-time MVP, right?
1 regular season MVP.
Really? Okay.
I don't have Willis Reed.
What are you talking about? How are you just... Come on.
I don't know.
I don't have Willis Reed.
God.
I look closely. I'm like,
Dikembe Mutombo over Willis Reed?
Yes.
Come on.
You looked closely? And went, nah, I'm taking Dikembe.
Brother,
I'm
come on. He's an MVP, a 2-time champion, and a 2-time finals MVP. Dikembe is not even close to this dude.
And guess what? If Willis Reed played against Mutombo, he'd be in jail. He'd be in Alcatraz. He's putting up 5 points.
Is this how we're doing this? You've become Zach now? You're not going to have Willis Reed, you're not going to have Bill Russell on your list at all now then?
Hold on. He would have how many? What do you think Willis Reed averaged for his career? Just a question.
Bro, he averaged like 26.
Okay, that's higher than
that's way too high. That's way too high.
If he averaged 26, if he averaged 26, and you had Dikembe Mutombo above him.
At his peak.
Hold on.
Time out. You thought this dude averaged 26 and left him off the list? What?
He averaged 20 at his peak. He averaged 20. But if you thought he averaged 26 and had Dikembe over him, that's insane, dude. Come on.
And guess what? He didn't. And I still have him over him.
You guys are like the two extremes. Zach cares completely about championships. You don't value the finals performance nearly enough, Cam.
I think I do.
You don't. You don't have a 2-time finals MVP on the list.
Bro, what do you want me to say?
All right, I want you
Marc Gasol is better. Marc Gasol is better than Willis Reed.
No, you're not serious. You're not serious.
Marc Gasol is better than Willis Reed.
You're not serious. Right, Turn off the mic.
You got it. Go ahead. You got it.
I'm telling you, if you go to New York, you might just get executed. They might public execution. They might pull out the guillotine for your ass, bro.
I'm be like, John Starks was incredibly underrated. They'll be like,
We heard the
"All
over.
fine."
We heard the over
Yeah,
part.
you did say over. at first.
Underrated.
All right.
Underrated.
Why don't you tell me, Cam, another center you have over him? Tell me your 13.
You sure you want me to do this?
I don't want to, but we have to continue the list. So go ahead.
All right. Well, let me just stir the pot real quick for this one because I'm,
Oh God.
cooking. Love to cook. Got some home cooking here.
Yep, I knew it. I
At
knew it.
13.
I knew he's a homer.
At 13.
No way, bro.
I knew it was gonna happen too.
No way.
I wish I
ready?
had told you at the
You ready?
beginning. I knew it was gonna
No.
happen.
Alonzo Mourning, baby. Let's go.
What did Alonzo do that Willis Reed did not?
Play against a good play.
Oh, here we go again.
Here we
That's
go.
your only defense ever.
That's
bro.
usually my defense,
I
and
know.
Cam's now
At
taking
his
it.
peak, he averaged about 20 and 10. He was
Which-
a great shot. I think he averaged like 3 blocks for a
Yeah.
couple seasons, which is
By the
Are we
way-
going
impressive.
off of their best seasons ever, or are we going off careers?
It's
I'm
it's
confused.
careers, and
Yes.
let's be fair. Willis Reed.
And
didn't-
Willis Reed only played 10 seasons.
I was gonna
Alonzo
say-
Mourning played like 15. He
I
played
was-
like 15 seasons, which gave me the edge over guys like him.
If you let me finish
Sorry.
my sentence, that's what I was gonna say. Was that to
But I
be
wanted
fair?
to say it first.
Okay. To be fair, Willis Reed did only play 10 seasons. However, you're talking about the 20 and 10 acting like it's crazy. That's what Willis Reed did in an era where scoring was down, so he was the MVP. And then also won 2 finals and won 2 finals MVPs.
Yeah, competition was down too.
All right, bro.
And the Willis Reed averaged 3 blocks.
Oh, they didn't track
he
blocks
ever?
back then. We can't see. They didn't track blocks back then.
What did Kanye say? I guess we'll never know.
By the way, it was not 20 and 10. It was about 20 and 15. That's a bit of a difference between Willis Reed and Alonzo Mourning. Also, the 2 finals MVPs is the main difference.
Whoop-de-doo.
I knew he was going to have him on the list. I wasn't even going to be mad at it because I had Alonzo at 16 over Willis Reed. Very bad.
I might take Dikembe over Alonzo Mourning. I'm
Hell
not gonna lie to
no.
you.
You're crazy.
Hell.
No, you're crazy.
Oh, he's
You're
crazy
crazy.
for
You
that,
just said
even though
something
you had
blasphemous,
Dikembe at 14? What do you mean? They're one spot apart for you.
Yes, but the gap between them is
No,
substantial.
Not.
Alonzo Mourning
it's
had a
not.
back to the basket game, something fluent. He was cold
Is
to the
Dikembe a
basket.
spot of a face-up shooter? I'm confused. What was
was a-
Dikembe
He
doing?
wasn't as good.
He was a nothing
He wasn't
shooter.
really as good.
What was Dikembe? Dikembe would ISO on the wing? Like, no, he had a back to the basket game too. What are we talking?
Cam, here's the thing that we can agree on. There is a significant gap between Alonzo and Dikembe, but the significant gap is that Dikembe should be nowhere near this list, and Alonzo is my honorable mention. But Willis Reed clears both of them.
That's crazy.
Man, what you talking about, Willis?
That's what I say to myself every time you name a name, bro.
What you talking about, Willis?
Number 13 for me. Never peaked as high as some of the guys we've been talking about, although he did peak higher than Dikembe Mutombo. Didn't peak as high as even Alonzo Mourning, I would not say.
Arguable.
You don't even know who I'm talking about. I haven't even said who I'm talking about. But is a 3-time champion, part of one of the best dynasties in NBA history. What? Why are you putting your hands up?
Oh, I know who it is.
You're a
All right,
Celtic
I know.
homer.
I'm not a homer. Robert Parrish is
You're
my
a
number
Celtic
3. Or
homer.
number
I
3.
knew that was coming.
Robert Parrish is my number 13.
Number 3 is crazy.
Not number 3,
Yeah, I left
number
Robert
13.
Parrish off the list.
That's fine.
He was an honorable mention. He was another honorable mention.
That's fine. If you have him at honorable mention, that's cool.
I like Parrish. He fits the mold of a player that should be on the list. Not this list. Now, if he's a power forward, he might have been on there right behind Kevin McHale at the bottom, but
Kevin McHale was already too low for you. By the way, I undersold him. 4-time NBA champion, 2-time All-NBA, 9-time All-Star, and one of the best dynasties of all time. You heavily value guys like Draymond Green and Dennis Rodman. Robert Parrish played a much larger role than those guys. He was 4th in MVP voting. Whoa, what do you mean? Whoa, he's 4th in MVP voting, 7th in MVP voting another year.
Yeah.
He was top 15 in MVP voting
He was
5 different seasons. Draymond Green and Dennis Rodman don't touch Robert Parrish. Don't sniff him. Couldn't even walk up and say, "Hey, can I get your autograph?" That's how far away Robert Parrish is.
Okay.
to him.
Now
That's
you're
what I'm
disrespecting.
saying.
No, okay. You were toting the line and you just crossed it. You did that for a reaction and you got one. You're drunk. You're absolutely drunk. A much better role?
Much better role.
No, he's the third best player.
Third best player. What are you? You're on this Draymond Green stand shit. He's averaging 20 points a game at his peak, bro.
Draymond's game was an offense, so he's not going to be the offensive player. Again, glue of a team, Draymond Green. They don't win any of those.
That's nice.
Without, I don't know, do they win without Parrish? Probably not. I won't even.
Mr. Triple Single. Are we talking about Mr. Triple Single?
A much larger role?
Yeah, you're defending Mr.
Yes.
Triple Single right now. We're talking
single.
about
We're
talking about a double machine right now.
But we're going off of box score stats, and Cameron, from somebody who loves the eye test, you know better than that. There's different ways to impact the game than the box score will show.
Yeah, my eye test says Draymond Green is struggling to make a layup right now. So. Have y'all seen that clip of Draymond Green and runs? This man was doing jab steps from 8 feet away and airballing. Bro, he looks horrible. He got to retire. Nah, but in all seriousness, Draymond Green is like another Dennis Rodman. The only difference is he had the intangibles of he could hit open threes. He was a great playmaker. He had ball handling responsibilities. He was way more well-rounded as a player. But when you talk about him in the light of these big men, he wouldn't come near this list because he never had the offensive presence of any of these big men.
Cam, I don't know if you have Parrish on here. Zach, I don't know how you're saying like he's not even close.
No, I'm not saying that he's not even close.
Okay.
He's my honorable mention. I would have been fine to have him if he was at 15.
I gave more respect to Robert Parrish. I'm not going to lie.
Ooh, okay, so Zach, you are the odd one out. You are the odd one out. Okay.
Kind of going hand in hand with Willis Reed. It's his name that you said because you mistook him for Willis Reed, a guy that you thought was Willis Reed, but was indeed not. Willis played with the Knicks. This guy played with the Wizards. At number 12, I do have Wes Unseld.
Over Dwight Howard? Come on, man.
Bro, I talked about this before we even did it.
We were on the phone talking
Zach,
about this.
you talk about old heads, right? You said he was playing against plumbers. What do you think the highest average Wes Unseld had in his career?
For points?
Yeah.
18.
And that's better than Dwight Howard to you?
What was Dwight Howard's highest average? 22?
Probably like 24, I would say.
24, 25.
I mean, I can look right now.
Wes Unseld, best
23.
player on a championship winning team. Now, granted, it was
23.
It was later back in the day. Finals MVP, and also one of the greatest rebounders to ever play the game. I think Buddy averaged 14 rebounds a game for his entire
I'll say
career.
it again.
You want to talk about...
Whoop-de-doo. He played against worse competition. Obviously, offense was slower back then, but the best of the best still were averaging high teens, low 20s. He averaged 15, and I know y'all talk about I'm disrespecting old heads, but the reason I don't have a lot of these guys on the list is because unless you were dominating the competition against worse competition, to me, you don't deserve to be on this list. Even if you have some championships, if you average 14 for most of your career and 10 rebounds, I'm not giving you the nod because most of these guys are averaging low 20s to mid 20s against better competition. And also they're averaging 12, 15 rebounds for any 3 or 4 year stretch as well.
So what do you think Wes Unseld did? First of all, Wes Unseld's best year as a rebounder.
I just told you what Wes Unseld did. I just laid out his whole freaking career.
You just said that these... Oh, were you talking about who was the 12, 15 rebounds part? Was that the Wes Unselds or the newer guys?
You didn't listen to anything I said. I said they both
really
did it.
but
Wes Unseld, yeah, that's why he asked me this dumbass question talking about what do you think Wes Unseld did? He averaged 10 less points than any other player on this list and the same rebounds. And guess what? Everybody on this list has multiple Yes.
He was a better rebounder. He was an incredible rebounder.
A much better rebounder. He averaged 18. He's averaging 18 rebounds a game.
Yeah, all that missing he was doing.
He came out the gates hot. That's why he was the MVP.
All the missing. That's all the missing he was doing.
Angel Reese 1.0. Congratulations. Whoop-de-doo.
He's one of the best rebounders of all time. But he won an MVP. He came out the gates hot. But after that, he never got to the same heights that he did his rookie season. And also his rookie season, he shot as a center, he shot 47% from the field. Like, come on. He shot 47% from the field off of 2-pointers exclusively. And also, I think his finals MVP is extremely fraudulent. He averaged under 10 points per game in that series. I think that's extremely fraudulent.
Box scores don't tell the story. Numbers are fantastic. It's cool to go, oh, I averaged 20-something. I averaged this amount of rebounds. It's great. There's certain things that certain players do. The Draymond Greens of the world, the Wes Unselds of the world, the Willis Reeds when he's not actually scoring of the world, that impact the game, which is why you get these accolades.
Yeah, when he's not actually
that Dwight
scoring.
Howard does not have, which is a Finals MVP.
A couple things that a lot of these guys you just named would have in common is they'd be on the power forward list, but they don't sniff the center list, which is why Wes Unseld shouldn't even be thought on this list. You know, someone else grabbed a whole bunch of rebounds, and his name is Dennis Rodman, and I didn't even put him on my power forwards list. If you think Wes Unseld should...
No, he didn't. He left him off.
Oh, I didn't.
Which was crazy, by the way, which was crazy.
I don't think I knew that.
Maybe a little.
We were talking about that.
We did talk
about it. Yeah, just like you weren't listening in the last 5 minutes. Anyway, and that's why Wes Unseld should not be on this damn list. He was doing a me bound. Congratulations. I'm glad he got a bunch of me bounds, but that does not get you on this list.
I did go deep in the bag specifically because I knew at some point we were probably going to have this conversation. I looked at reports even at the time. People were saying they gave that Finals MVP to Wes Unseld as a legacy award because Elvin Hayes in that series averaged 20 and 12. Wes Unseld averaged 9 and 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other players on his own team averaged more points per game than Wes Unseld that series. Mitch Kupchak, former Lakers GM, averaged more points per game in that series than Wes Unseld did.
How many points did Andre Iguodala average in that series that he won Finals MVP?
He shouldn't have won the Finals MVP.
Yeah,
but he did.
But he shouldn't have.
More to
And guess
scoring
what?
that impacts the game.
I'm glad you made that connection, Zach, because that really brings back the point is role players don't need to be on here. This is for all-time centers, Zach, not role players.
Wes Unseld is not
right?
a role player. Let's be honest. Wes Unseld's not a role player.
He played the me-bound role. He got his me-bounds.
You want to talk me-bounds? We're about to see how high you have wilt, so this better be consistent for you then.
Oh, it will be. Don't worry.
Oh,
it will be.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Number 12, honestly, I thought I was going to have higher than you guys. It might be a guy that's higher than you guys, and maybe he's not even on your guys' list. That's still a level that I think it might be. I still semi-value what he did in the ABA, so I think if you guys are not considering that, you would have left him off.
No, I got him on here.
Oh, you do? Okay. Interesting. Number 12, I have Artis Gilmore. Oh, see, yeah.
No, not what I got.
Oh, exactly. I thought that's what I had a feeling. You guys didn't have him.
Another honorable mention. Honorable mention.
That's fair. I'm higher.
Wait, hold on.
What's the problem?
Artis Gilmore at 12.
I don't value ABA stuff to the same level that I do value the NBA stuff, but I work it in some capacity. He was an MVP in the ABA. But also, when he gets to Chicago, the Chicago teams are not that good. But when he's there in Chicago, he is one of the best players in the league, an underrated name just because they didn't have long-term playoff success, but does win a championship in the ABA. That's one thing.
Another player that would be locked down by Dikembe Mutombo.
Dikembe is not better than Artis Gilmore. Can you at least give me that, Zach?
Yeah, I would take Artis Gilmore over Dikembe Mutombo.
Okay, thank you. As long as you can give me that.
Now I'm starting to think if Artis Gilmore's at 12, there's going to be some players that you don't have.
I told you, we're even now. This is the one that I have that you don't. There is still one more coming that you have that I don't. Which
okay.
To me is crazy, the fact that there's somebody else that's above Dwight Howard.
All of these players did more in their careers as the number one player on their team. And it will continue to be like that for the rest of this.
Nope.
Yes.
Wes Unseld did not do more than...
Yes, he did.
Dwight Howard. No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
He won
rebounds don't make you better, bro.
God
dang.
He didn't win until Elvin Hayes got there. And another 20-point per game scorer on the team as well, by the way. There were 2 20-point per game scorers on that team, not Wes Unseld.
Elvin Hayes was on the power forward list, I recall. Elvin Hayes was better all time than Wes Unseld.
You had Wes Unseld at 13.
Elvin Hayes isn't a center. He's a power forward.
That's what I mean, though. You had Elvin Hayes at 13. You think the 13th best power forward is above the 13th best center?
No, I would take Wes Unseld all the time.
I think I just proved you wrong, and you were like, no, I can't say that.
I would take Wes Unseld all the time.
Disrespectful ass laugh, bro. God damn.
I'm gonna get to my number 12 now.
Okay. I just want one defense of Artis Gilmore here. One of the most efficient players of all time. Efficiency from the field, 67% from the field for a couple of seasons. Led the league in efficiency from the field for four seasons. Okay.
They were playing in
That is
peach
impressive.
baskets. Of course, they were finger roll layup.
You don't know when this dude played. What year do you think he played?
Before the 70s.
Nope.
60s.
Nope.
No.
1980s.
No.
What year did he play?
1980s.
He played into the 80s, or that was his peak of his career?
His peak was the 80s.
What year in the 80s?
His peak was 1982-83, where he averaged 18 and 12 and was 8th in MVP voting.
Oh, those are his NBA years.
His peak in the ABA was 1971-72 because his career was very long, which is part of the reason, off of longevity as well, that he's on my list.
Yes, you do value longevity. That makes sense why Artis Gilmore's here.
Yeah,
But there's got to be some more old head names that are coming. Unless you're sticking true to your trend of no black and whites pictures, then the other guy's not going to be on your list.
I don't even know who you're talking about, but I did stick
do.
true. Oh yeah, I do know who you're talking about. Yeah, he's not touching the list. No.
Oh, he's better than Artis.
Hell no, dude. Hell no. Hell no. George Mike. He's talking about George Mikan, bro. Bro's
Oh
talking
my
about George
freaking God.
Mikan's better than all these dudes.
Oh
George Mikan's better
my
than Dwight Howard? No.
Way
shot.
better. Couldn't hold his jock strap.
Yeah, right. Bro's teammates with Vern Mickelson. He's a teammate with a dude named Vern Mickelson playing before any other player with a skin color less pale than mine. And you're saying he's better than Dwight Howard? Bro, come
Couldn't
on.
hold his Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard couldn't even get in the same room as Mike and ask for an autograph. Let alone be able to walk up to
right.
him. Couldn't
You're
hold his
crazy.
jock strap.
You're
Couldn't hold a
crazy,
candle.
bro.
If George Mikan guarded Dwight Howard, he would do a hate crime against him for what Dwight
we-
Howard would do.
Also, by the way, he
Are we
played
hate-
7 seasons. The dude
And
played
won
7 seasons.
5 rings.
This is before anybody less pale than me could play in the league, and you're talking about value in 5 rings? Come on now. Even if you wanted to consider him for the list, which I did not because his picture is in black and white, even if you wanted to consider him for the list, he doesn't come close to Dwight Howard.
Much better career.
No shot. No shot.
What do you mean
No shot. No shot. You heard him. No shot.
As the resident, you have to take into account eras. It shocks me that a guy that did play 7 seasons and won 5 rings
If I'm
wouldn't
taking
even
into
be on your list of consideration.
if I'm taking into account the era, I'm also taking into account the fact that in that era it was segregated. That's also what I'm taking into account. And I know if it was not segregated, that dude is not averaging 25 points per game. That's also what I'm taking into account.
Yeah, he might.
We
he
call
might
their
look
careers
more
how
like
it is.
Wes
Again.
Unseld, if that.
We call the careers how it is, bro.
I'm calling it how it is.
Was it fair? No. Should blacks have gotten a chance? Yes.
Thank you. I'm glad you needed to clarify. Just like with Karl Malone, I'm
Would he
glad
have
you
been-
needed to clarify.
I'm defending the mailman. How are we disrespecting Karl Malone?
Okay, so we found the culprit of the list.
Oh God, Zach, you on one today, and that's saying something. That is saying something.
You don't think Black should have gotten a chance back then? Ken? That's messed up. That's rude. You don't think that they should have gotten a chance? That's so messed up.
I can't take this no more, bro. Oh my God.
Oh man.
We found the culprit of our list.
Bro's out there with Poindexter glasses looking like a professor at any college, and he's saying he's better than Dwight Howard.
Again, too. Now, granted, the comparison. This is a numbers game since we're pulling out the numbers and we're not going off of eye test. Since we're talking about this dude averaged 20 and this dude averaged this, Mikan higher all-time playoff winning percentage than the assumed GOAT of Michael Jordan, who's 6-0 in the NBA Finals.
Brother, yeah, we know because the era he played in, he was playing against nobody. Not even the nobodies
Justin
what you
Fer-
talk about when you're talking about Oscar Robertson or Bill Russell. The nobodies of half the population of dudes who played basketball weren't allowed to play.
70%.
Again,
of
we
the
talked about this
population
part.
is-
We talked about this. I think it was 60. I think it was 3/5.
Did somebody say 3/5?
Okay, bro.
Did somebody say 3/5?
You better be careful. They're trying to take us back there. They're trying to take us back
We
there
on
right
guns now. Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, huh?
That's true.
Oh Lord. My number 12 is Robert Parrish.
Okay.
You already mentioned him.
Not too far
Four-time
away.
champion, much better than triple single, average like 19 and 10.
19
whatever,
and 10 for like 9 seasons, 9 different
going with
seasons.
the
Yeah,
number-
for a very long time.
I've already made my case. Why I'm not mad at Robert Parrish being on there. I wouldn't have him that high. I was considering him for 15.
Thank God you added George Mikan, though. I'm so glad you did that.
Oh, man.
You don't even want to know where I have George Mike.
Oh my God. This dude's about to have George Mikan above Nikola Jokic. He's about to say this dude's the coldest white center of all time, bro.
Of all time. And Rick Smits. Them two together. Y'all don't have Rick Smits on here? Y'all don't have Jack Sigma on here?
I don't know why they'd be on here. Arvydas Sabonis is my number 5, so.
Yeah.
Hey, Arvydas was tough. We'll get it out the way. Number 11 is George Mikan.
He put the plumbers next to each other, Arman. It's fitting.
And these are the better of the ones.
And they're not better than
No,
Dwight
they're
Howard,
not.
I'll tell you. They're not better than
They
Dwight
are.
Howard.
No, they're not.
Indeed. Career-wise,
They're-
1,000,000%.
They're the worst of the plumbers.
They all had much better careers.
Of the all NBA plumbers list, they would not be.
George
even
Mikan's the
sniffing
only
that
one
list.
from that era. George Mikan's the only one from your plumber
I wonder
era.
why.
Everybody
I feel like there was a common denominator missing.
Yeah,
Part
I
of
wonder-
the equation was taken out.
I wonder what part of it was taken out. I wonder if we asked Robert E. Lee Pettit himself, maybe he could give us an explanation of who was left out of that
Bobby
equation.
Pettit. Yeah. I don't know.
Variable B was taken out of the
Variable
equation.
B.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
AA strand or what?
Okay, so I'll give my number 11 because my number 11 has already been said by Zach and should be on the list. Cam does not have him, but I have Willis Reed at number 11 because of the 2 finals MVPs, because of the MVP. I think he should be up here. But I don't have him above Dwight Howard, although I'm not mad about him above Dwight Howard. But they both should be above George Mikan.
No, that's fine. You adjusted for eras, or your whole thing was not having black and white pictures, which I assumed he wouldn't be on your list.
no
I
black
thought you would have him in your honorable mention.
Hell no.
Oh, all right. Well, that's fine. That's fair.
Cam, who's your list?
It's on you, dog.
At my number 11, I have. Come on, it's Bobby. Bob McAdoo, number 11.
Number 11?
And Bobby was dominating.
Look, he's a great center, and he was an honorable mention. I'll say that.
Whoa.
You don't have Bob McAdoo on
Why
your
would
list?
I have
Bob
him?
McAdoo.
You guys didn't have
Come
Bill
on,
Walton.
bro.
What do you mean?
Bob McAdoo was better.
No, he
Yes.
was not.
Way
At
better
his
than
peak,
Bill
no, he was
Walton.
not. He was not. Bob McAdoo with the Braves didn't do anything in the playoffs. Okay, that's number 1. Made the playoffs only 3 seasons out of his years in Buffalo. Never got far into it either, by the way. The peak was incredible. I'll give you that. But by the time he's bouncing around to the Knicks,
34
I know.
And 14.
I know. He was an MVP for a reason. I understand that. But by the time he's bouncing around to the Knicks, he's having great seasons on the Knicks, but those Knicks teams are not good. They're winning 43 games in that season. Then he bounces around again to Detroit, averages 21. They finished 16 and 66. And then by the time he gets to the Lakers, he's a role player.
Bob McAdoo better than Artis Gilmore. I'm sorry.
I don't think so. I think
Bob
Artis Gilmore's
McAdoo's
above him.
Way better than Artis Gilmore.
I don't.
No.
I don't-
Yes.
At his peak, I think so.
34 and 14.
At his peak,
God.
at his peak, he is obviously better. Artis Gilmore's career lasted much longer. The longevity carries him over the top for me. And like I said, he has no playoff success, which is why I don't understand how you could have him over Willis Reed, because he's having no playoff success on his own. He's an MVP, sure. So is Willis Reed. Willis Reed is winning finals MVPs. He's winning finals. Bob McAdoo does none of that until he's a role player.
He played 17 years, bro.
Yeah, and for half of them, he's a role player. Bill Walton, and this is the differential, the separator for me. I'm not going to say it's a big gap between them. It's not. But the separator for me between him, Bill Walton, and Bob McAdoo is that Bill Walton won a championship and won a finals MVP at his peak. And Bob McAdoo did not do that. He did not have any playoff success in his prime. I think those were more empty stats than people want to admit.
Kind of sounds like the Dwight Howard conversation. Yeah.
You think Dwight Howard's stats were empty stats?
They were regular season stats.
Dwight Howard went
We
to-
talked
Oh
about
my
this.
God.
He
bro.
went to the finals.
Okay.
What are you talking
One
about?
time. Once. Uno time. Oh.
And-
Okay, how many times did Chris Paul get to the finals?
Once.
All right then.
Yeah.
All right then.
All right, this
My point
is
exactly.
The reason why I don't have Bob McAdoo, and the big difference, he's putting up great points. He's an MVP level player by his statistics. Those 3 seasons where he's at his peak, the Braves go 42-40, 49-33, and 46-36. In Dwight Howard's prime, they're going 52-30, 59-23, 59-23 again, 52-30. In his prime, they're at the top of the conference. In Bob McAdoo's prime, they're a middle of the pack team.
You might think they're empty stats. I don't.
That is crazy.
I do not.
I think 11 is too high already, but higher than 11 is wild to me.
Oh, it's just 10. It's just right there.
You have him at 10? Okay.
I do have him at 10.
Still too high. Both of them too high, for especially for neither of you having Bill Walton, but
Again, but these are centers. Like, that is scoring from a position that nobody scored like that at until that.
well,
Except for
we'll
the guy
definitely
that we're
do
getting ready to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But other than that, like, this is, though, he's one of those ones.
I think he's one of those ones that stuffed the stat sheet on bad teams. That's what I think he was.
No, he's not Adrian Dantley.
I was
He's
gonna
not
say
Adrian
I
Dantley.
think he's the next level up of Adrian Dantley. That's what I think.
He had, but Adrian
So I
Dantley
put
didn't
him
win
at
any
11.
championships. Bob McAdoo has 2 rings.
As a role
Yeah,
player.
not as a great player though.
He was
That's
coming
what
off the
you're saying.
bench for the Lakers, dog. Come on. Kind of hard not to win
No, you're
rings being Kareem's backup.
Yeah, facts.
I think he's
God,
overrated.
that team was good. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, that team was stacked. They had the defensive player of the year coming off the bench too. They had Michael Cooper just casually winning defensive player of the year off the bench. Byron Scott averaging like 18 off the bench.
Arizona State legend, baby.
You already said your 10 is McAdoo. My 10,
Yes.
you already mentioned him. 14 is way too low for me. But number 10, I do have Dwight Howard. Him and Willis Reed are
Okay.
right next to each other. But I definitely think he should be at least top 11. Wavelength, Cam, I like it.
Yeah.
Damn, you left Willis Reed off the list, so y'all are not on the same wavelength.
We're not on the same total wavelength, but this is we're starting to lock in. Once we get to 10,
Yeah.
except for the power forward list because we were off on that one. Once we get to 10, we usually lock in. So we'll see if that's the case. this
Yeah,
time.
we're usually pretty consistent.
And then you do something crazy, Klay Thompson.
Klay Thompson.
All right. So clearly, though, I'm glad we've gotten to this point because clearly we have the same top 9. We 100% have the same top 9. We'll see how number 9 goes. However, I think number 9 should be the same. We should have another Joel Embiid. I feel like number 9 is locked in for me at least.
Now that we've been through this positional thing and we talk about these little gaps within these one player gaps, I do think that not the difference between 9 and 8 is kind of big. But I don't want to say 9
Yeah,
in case
there's
you're
a
not the
discrepancy.
same one.
No,
Like,
I want to
we
hear
might not
your
have the
number
same
9
No,
because
no,
with your
I'm not going first. I don't want to say it because you're gonna sit there. You guys are gonna freak out. No, I've gone first like the last 4 times. I'm
All
not
right,
going first again.
fine. I think without a doubt, number 9 should be Patrick Ewing.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
See, this is
Yeah.
what I was talking about.
Here we go.
Number
Here
9
we go.
should be
Here
the
we
same.
go.
All right.
Okay.
Great player,
Yes.
but the only guy out of all of these top 9 that is not a champion. And
Yeah.
Correct.
at his peak was always like top 5 in MVP voting for a significant amount of time. But there's another guy on this list that was always like above him every time.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie. 6, 7, and 8. That was probably the hardest 3 to rank for me. Just-
Yeah, that was easy
it's
for
like-
me.
That was easy for me
Personally.
because I have strong feelings about 2 of these guys in 2 different directions.
Given the track record of power forward list, I feel like you have one guy heavily above the rest of them, which
I don't know.
should be, but like also not for centers. I think
You're-
he's still working his way to get there.
I already know
No.
you are underrating the current players. That's crazy to me.
Yes, that's crazy.
But let's
That is
see how
crazy.
low
But
you
anyway,
have him.
Let's get to that.
Let's see how low you have
Yeah.
him. Who do you have him here at number 8? Is that what you're saying?
Well, he's not top 5.
Who's your number 8?
No, don't do that.
Who's your
Don't
number eight?
do
Who's
that.
Number 8.
Who's your number
You
8?
didn't go first last time.
Let's hear it.
At number 8, this one actually. At number 8, gave so much love to the old heads in the beginning. Once we got to this point, I'm like, okay, now I'm going to bring back my argument of played against tougher competition. Do have Moses Malone.
Okay.
I know it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cam, is that a problem for you?
It's not a problem. I expected it, but that's not what I did. At number 8, the Admiral.
Okay.
I do have
All
the
right.
Admiral. And there is a reasoning. I really thought about this, right? I'd say probably for their first championship, he might have been the best player because Tim Duncan was so young. That second one to me, Tim Duncan was the undisputed best player.
Oh, without a doubt.
And
By the time that second championship
Sure.
comes
Yeah.
around, he's like regressing heavily.
You really, realistically, you got one legit championship as the guy. And then I matched that with we're talking about now, Moses Malone. I'm gonna just say I have him at 7. Like
Okay.
it's hard to talk about if I don't.
Well,
I
let
have him at
me
7.
let me put up mine so that we can get like
Okay.
the even, and let me
Okay.
show you who I'm siding with in this argument, because I like I said, I had very strong feelings about these guys. I'm on Zach's side here. I have Moses Malone at 8, and I felt like I was going to be the lone one in that argument because obviously he's a 3-time MVP. But talking about those MVPs, I think he only deserved one of them.
Okay. Elaborate.
The one where he's averaging 30 and 15, clearly he's the MVP that year. I would not dispute that.
Yes.
But I think he's a bit of a minutes merchant because he was always, and you know what? If you want to say that's the reason he should have been the MVP was because he was on the floor so often, that's fine. I would value more the efficiency that he was putting up. His MVP when he is in Philadelphia, I would say that he wasn't even the best player on his own team. I think even though the points per game is not the same, efficiency-wise, Dr. J was more valuable that season. I wouldn't even give Dr. J the MVP that year. I would have gave Larry Bird the MVP that year.
Well, a big part of my argument is when Moses Malone won, he was the best player. He pulled the weight. He carried the team, and he was kind of the guy that they leaned on.
I disagree. I think
no, he was easily the best. And in the documentary, Dr. J even said it. He was like, I was at an older point in my career. I still wanted to win. I was still a good player, but Moses came in. He was phenomenal. He was the guy who really got us over the hump and was able to get us to a championship.
Well, they needed him. They needed something else to get them over the hump. And I would say that Moses was deserving of the Finals MVP. He without a doubt deserved the Finals MVP. But I think during the regular season, Dr. J was more valuable, even though it's close. On top of the fact, the other reason that why I take Moses down in rankings all time, the 2 other MVP years when he's in Houston, they get bounced in the first round, dude. They're bounced in the first round both times.
To be fair, though, David Robinson, right? He probably always got deep in the playoffs, but he also had the best power forward to ever play the game.
Not for most of his career, though. In the entire 90s, he does not have Tim Duncan. They just get lucky that 1 year where they needed the draft pick, he got hurt that year. 1996-97, he gets injured, and that's the reason why they have that top pick. But to me, I'm looking at David Robinson's career. Again, you have to keep in mind, he's playing at the same time as another center that's going to be on this list, and at some points, 2 other centers that are going to be on this list, alongside Michael Jordan, and he's still top 3 in MVP voting multiple times. He wins an MVP as well, so that's not something that like Moses has that he doesn't. I would even argue there are, I would say, 5 different seasons that are at least MVP worthy in another season.
I'd say Moses Malone had like 8.
I disagree. I think he only had the one
Listen
MVP worthy
Listen
season.
to this. 24 and 12, 25 and 13.
I know.
25 and 15, 31 and 15, 28 and 15, 26 and 15, 25 and 8, 25 and 18. And this ain't West Unseld basketball. This is real centers.
I understand. But look, you look at that season, and then you look at the season directly after. He has pretty much the same stats, and he finishes 9th in MVP voting. You know why? Because voters realized, oh shit, this dude is maybe not as good as we think based off of the stats because they lost in the first round that season. You can't say voter fatigue when they gave him back-to-back MVPs later on in his career. They were fine voting for him, but just earlier in his career, they realized, oh shit, maybe he's just kind of a guy that just stays on the court and racks up stats because he had multiple seasons where he averaged 40 minutes a game. No current day player is doing that because that's not good for your health, good for your sustainability.
There's a guy who's on this list who you could say has had to do that for a while now and may have to do that actually no.
Now
they give him a
they'll be
little
fine.
death.
Yeah, they'll be fine now.
But he's had to sustain that for several seasons because he had
But that's what I'm saying
no backup.
Even in a situation where the Nuggets, that's who we're talking about, is Jokic, the Nuggets have no backup, he's still averaging 36 minutes per game. Moses Malone's averaging 40 to put up those stats.
Yeah, but also the game probably puts more of a strain on your body in terms of running and defending and all of that.
I mean, I would still say Moses had to pause, be down low and bang with a lot of great centers all time who were very physical. The game was a lot more physical. I said pause. Why are you guys laughing? I said pause.
No, you did. No, I know you did, but that was still
pause.
crazy.
you said pause.
No, you paused
and I
it, but,
already
like,
knew what was coming. Pause.
Hey, yo, wait, hey, no, you didn't say pause before.
what are we talking
When you
about?
said pause, I already knew what you were about to say, and it killed me still, bro. That's too funny.
You paused it. You paused it, but that was still egregious.
I was a pause.
Like Charles
What do you want me to
Barkley.
say?
When that guy is banging you, when you down low and he's banging you.
Even if you preface, you still can't go pause. Feel all the balls on your back and neck. You can't just say egregious stuff. Like it's still egregious. Even if you
He's
did
got
pause
a
it
point.
before.
He does have a point.
Zach,
Oh,
You
God.
can't pause it before and then
Zach-
still go out and say something absolutely insane.
Zach, I hope you know that's the outro. Thank you for that.
That's the outro.
Yeah, that's the outro.
Armand, hey. We need to go live so that the comments of Armand's not sus or he just edits his clips out is verified because that's not going to make the
That will.
YouTube but mine
That's too funny to not make the edit. It's gonna make the edit, but I said pause.
Pause isn't a get out of jail free card, bro. You can't just say anything after you say pause.
Okay, back to the conversation. I think it's not a crazy gap. It's very close, but I would have David Robinson over him. I think he's one of the most efficient players of all time. Very underrated. I think I have him, even though Zach and I have him at the same ranking. I think all time I probably have David Robinson above where Zach would have him.
Did you already say where you have David Robinson at? I missed it if you haven't.
Oh, I guess I haven't, but I can say it right now because he is at number 7 for me.
Yeah.
So do I. That was like I'm assuming we have the same number 6 as well. So we can get that out of the way if we want to talk about it.
We'll see.
No, we don't. You did it, Armand. No, you did not.
We'll see.
No, you didn't.
We'll see.
I swear to God.
Give me one sec. Give me one sec to hook up my charger real quick.
Armand is just trying to be cryptic and be dramatic.
No, but I already know who he took out of his top 5. Here, all right, let's make our predictions. This is verified too, so when Armand goes back to look at it, we can actually see who got it right.
Okay.
I think he's got Wilt coming at 6.
Really?
I think he goes. Yeah, I already knew going into this based off the way he was treating Giannis. I said, bro, he's gonna put Jokic top 4. I think he goes Wilt 6. I think he goes Hakeem 5, Jokic 4, Russell 3.
If he does do that, my list is gonna be really different.
We already know Hakeem is your number 1, bro.
Yeah, of course.
We already know your Rockets homer got a I'm doing him a lateral movement.
Okay, I'm back rolling.
Okay, so me and Armand had the same 8 and 7. We both went Malone Robinson. I had a feeling going into it that this dude was probably going to get a little more love on Armand's because of how we both value current players.
You did not value the current player of Giannis enough. By the way, if you have not seen our power forward list, you should go watch it if you don't want spoilers on it.
I got Giannis at 5.
Yeah, that's way too low.
You had him at 3.
I had him at 2.
Oh, you did
Yeah,
have
he had
him
him
at 2.
very
Yeah,
high.
that's crazy.
Because I had
that's
KG
crazy.
instead.
That's not crazy
Yeah,
at all.
that
He should be
debate.
number 2. He's
That's no.
You want the
That's
whole
crazy.
debate? That's on the power forward video. So go
Yeah, that's
and
a
watch
power forward
it.
list. We don't have to get into that. We'll just address the elephant in the room. I know Armand's gonna have this dude higher, and rightfully so. He should have another MVP on his belt, but voter fatigue this past season did hold him back from getting one. I think he was more than deserving, but. This is the world we live in of what he has. If and when he does get another championship, I think we have the conversation as well of moving him into that top 4, top 3 category. But until then, I do have the Joker, Nikola Jokic.
As much as I wanted to, I do not have him any higher. I have Nikola Jokic at number 6.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna leave out. Hey, me and Armand have hit 876, dog.
That's true. Or 9876. It's been 4 in a row now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ewing.
You on the same wavelength, Ken?
Like I said, if you were right, Zach, we would have a very different list. But you were wrong. Number 6, Nikola Jokic.
I was wrong. I thought for sure. Well, I forgot he was a Laker too. There's no way he was gonna drop him down lower than out of his top 5. He played for the Lakers.
Yeah.
What? Oh,
I thought-
okay.
I thought you were gonna have Nikola Jokic there, and that guy was gonna be 6 because I made my prediction of what your final 6 was gonna
Okay.
be, and I missed already.
Yeah.
Well, who is your number 5 then? It sounds like you have him at number 5.
No, I don't. There's 3 dudes that could be here. Really 2. I think the top 3,
It's 2.
to me at least, are solidified.
Yes.
It depends on who you want to ask. It depends on how much you value older heads, but all of these guys Two of them are old heads. One of them's not as old. And actually, that's the one that's coming here. At number 5, I do have the dream, Hakeem Olajuwon.
What?
What are you talking about as far as like...
What
did you think was coming when he said it wasn't Wilt? What did you think was coming?
Oh, he's got Hakeem in his 3. That's crazy. That's insane, bro.
Who is
Come
your
on.
number 5, Cam?
Him.
Bill Russell.
There's no shot you have
He's my
Wilt
number 5.
Chamberlain above Bill Russell. You're crazy. Every time they played each other in their entire careers, Bill Russell dusted this dude.
Nah, bro.
I saw that coming.
Bill Russell dusted this dude every time they played each other. There is no chance you could have Wilt Chamberlain above Bill Russell. That's absurd.
I do. Wilt is better.
Wilt is not better, and that's why I have him at number 5. Wilt is not better. Wilt is a fucking fraud. That's what he is, dude.
Has Bill Russell scored 100 points? Nah.
Bill
Neither is
Russell.
Wilt. Show me the tape.
Bill Russell.
Show me the tape.
He did score 100.
Show me the
That
tape.
is fair.
Show me the tape.
But
we have footage of World War I. I don't see a single bucket from that 100-point game. Now, show me the tape.
Wilt Chamberlain was the definition of a stat sheet stuffer. That does not lead to wins, okay? And that's the reason why every time Wilt played against Bill Russell, he fucking folded. Every single time. It was not until he stopped putting up the 100-point games, until he stopped putting up 40 points in a game, blocking his own teammates' shots to get the points up and the rebounds to stuff the stat sheets. It was when he finally went to the 76ers and joined up against alongside some other All-Stars that he actually won some championships, and then went to the Lakers and scored the 4th most points in that playoff run, by the way, 4th most, and got alongside Jerry West. That's when he won his 2nd. There's no way he could be above Bill Russell.
He is. Anyway.
No, he's not.
No, what's the defense? You got to give...
No. I 1,000,000%. You said everything.
Will
that I could have
Chamberlain
and would have.
had a freaking 90 vertical with 7-3. He scored 100 points. He averaged 50. Stat sheet stuffing or not, he was destroying people, dude. He was a monster. Him and a certain other Laker were just freaks of nature and probably the best athletes the NBA has ever seen.
That's fair. He was a monster. He was an athletic freak. But we're talking about basketball players right now. Because and throughout your list, you have showed that you define very differently basketball talents versus actual basketball players, because you had Tracy McGrady at fucking 13. So that
is true.
You know that difference. You had Tony Parker, who is nowhere close to being a top 15 talent point guard of all time. You had him in your top 12.
I did.
So Bill Russell is without a doubt also, by the way, an athletic freak. Don't forget about that.
Yes, he was.
And the best defensive player of all time, and dusted Will Chamberlain every time they played each other.
There's one guy better.
I disagree, but that's a valid argument, but I disagree.
One guy better.
Both of them are better than Hakeem to me. Now it's close. I think 5-4 for the dream is close, but top 3,
It's
solidified, bro.
No, I really didn't think we'd have an argument this deep into the list.
Well, you know Hakeem is not the 3rd best center of all time.
All jokes. Okay, shut up. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. I'm not jumping to that. Okay, continue, Arman.
Look, I had a feeling that we were, because I knew somebody was going to have Wilt higher than I did. I knew we were going to have an argument here. So I going into it, I knew we were going to have an argument this deep into the video. I really don't have a problem if you have Wilt higher than I do. I think he's a fraud, but whatever. He cannot be above Bill Russell. That's the thing. He cannot be above Bill Russell.
Well, he is on mine.
So who's next? Is Bill Russell, or is Wilt number 4?
Yes, Bill Russell. Wilt's number 4. Yes.
I do think Hakeem is better than Wilt.
Yeah.
I mean, Wilt was an offensive machine, but also we know how you feel about Wilt's offensive game as a stat sheet stuffer. Hakeem's actually translates across the board, assisting, scoring, and also defending. So it makes sense as to why you have them there. But I flipped them because I think the box score doesn't show everything that Wilt was able to do on the defensive side of the ball. We already know what he could do offensively. He scored 100 points, which I really don't even think is real, but we'll go with that.
I think he's a stat sheet stuffer. I think he was a better player later in his career once he transitioned to being an actual basketball player rather than a stat sheet stuffer. And he's an incredible talent. It's not like I'm disrespecting him. He's obviously without a doubt, top 15 player of all time. So that's the level of separation that we're talking about. These guys are very close in the all-time rankings. I am with Zach on this one. I think to me, the top 3 is solidified, even though I don't want to back a Celtic again, but I do have Hakeem at 4.
No.
Okay. Now it's my and now I've been called out and I've admitted on certain cases of bias. I need you to go ahead and open up to this one. It's a Houston bias, and
It's not a Houston bias. It's not a Houston bias because let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Hakeem is the best freaking defensive center of all time.
Bill Russell's better.
When he went up against Shaq, who likely is top 2, whatever, he literally had Shaq in Alcatraz. He's the only center who has genuinely put Shaq in shackles. He had Shaq in shackles. He couldn't do shit against Hakeem. The best defensive center of all time showed he was that by locking up Shaq. And not to mention, offensively, his bag was just as deep as another guy who will be on this list as Kareem. Kareem was better, don't get me wrong, but his offensive bag in the post was just as deep.
Nope.
He had the dream shake. The dream shake is one of the hardest and the most prolific post moves of all time. You talk about footwork. You talk about championships. He had 2 championships in the Jordan era. And he never had a team as great as Jordan. He never had a team that was that
He did
good.
not have 2 championships in the Jordan era. He had 2 championships in the Jordan retired era. That's when his 2 championships came. What? That's true.
Which goes to show you.
It's exactly
No,
when they
I know
won
that. I know that's true.
Everything you said is valid. Hakeem's one of the best players of all time, an incredible defensive center, the second best defensive player of all time. But when we're talking about him versus Bill Russell is the best defensive center, the best defensive player of all time. He is a 5-time MVP. We don't even need to talk about the championships. You know how many championships he has.
Yeah, billion.
On top of the fact that you can visually see his defensive impact when he gets to the Celtics and when he leaves. Before Bill Russell gets there, the Celtics are one of the worst defenses in the league. Immediately, his first season that they get there, they become the number 1 defense in the league. Immediately. And they stay like that for his entire career. In his last season of his career, they are still the number 1 defense in the league. Season after he retires, they are bottom half of the league in defense.
My question is, what would the Rockets be without Hakeem? They would be the worst freaking team in the league. They wouldn't be the worst defense. They wouldn't be the worst defense. They'd be the worst team in the league.
They were very bad the season before he gets there. They were in defensive rating. They were 17th out of 23. And then he gets there. They are the 4th best defense in the league. So I will obviously his defensive impact. I'm not denying his defensive impact. He's the second best defensive player of all time. I'm not denying his greatness. We're talking about top 15 players of all time right now.
There's no question Hakeem was the best player on a team that went on to win 2 championships. Clear as day. Now, Bill Russell, he had Hondo, he had Kuz, like he had great teammates around him. But also, he went on to win 11. Like, what are what are we talking about?
Yeah, but like also,
13.
there was 10, 12 teams, and probably 15 to 20% of the entire league's talent, top players, were on that one team. Bro, you look at the top 15 players in the entire league. Probably about 4 or 5 of them are next to Bill Russell.
Yeah, Hondo, Kuz, Jones.
Sam Jones, I guess.
Yeah, Sam Jones.
Look,
maybe, I guess.
They were a stacked team, but we still consider Magic and Kareem great, even though we just talked about earlier how great the rest of their team was. But also you could argue Bill Russell made that team so incredibly good because he was so dominant defensively. None of them had to do shit on defense, and they could just score offensively.
But to me, it's like another Celtics tradition, trend, whatever you want to call it, whether it's Bill Russell, whether it's Larry Bird, whether it's Paul Pierce, whether it's Jason Tatum. All of those guys have had like 3 or 4 all-star quality players next to them on these runs and won a championship. And I'm not saying having help is a bad thing. But when we talk about talent, when we talk about how much you've won, I do think it matters. Is like, okay, have you won a couple? Yes. Have you won an MVP or 2? Yes. Have you won a Defensive Player of the Year? Yes. So now we know you can win. We know you're a championship player. It comes down to your ability. He's played against most of these top centers. Shaq is with more skill, more size, more strength. And he locked that guy up.
He did that one time, and I understand, I'm not denying his defensive ability, but he did that one time when Shaq was very young. I think that's like year 3 or year 4 Shaq. That is not prime Shaq. We can hypothesize about whether he would have locked up Lakers Shaq or not. I have no idea. He would have.
Hell no.
He would have put the impact on him for sure.
In 20 games that they played 28 regular season and playoffs, Shaq was 17-11 against Hakeem. So he was winning more and he was losing. Now, he might have got him in a series, but throughout the trajectory of their careers and all 20 matchups, 28, including playoffs, Shaq was by far the better player on the floor. But Shackles? I'll take Shackle Shaq
For
over,
Shaq, I'll take Shaq with Shaq too. Yeah.
And also with Hakeem, like, how can you be a top 3 center? You weren't even the best player in your draft class. You know what I mean? Like, come on, what are we talking about?
Okay, that doesn't apply.
You know what I mean?
That doesn't apply.
Like, you weren't even you were the number 1 pick and still weren't even the best player.
That
Look at Cam trying to figure out who was drafted in that class. Look at Cam. The answer you're looking for is Sam Bowie at number 2.
Obviously.
Jordan at 3.
Yeah.
To answer your confusion, it was Jordan.
No, I'm not confused about who you're talking about. I'm confused about why that matters.
It doesn't. I just wanted to put that in there.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Point being, Shaq is better than him because he's a top 2 center. And you know who's right after him? Hakeem Olajuwon.
No, I disagree.
Nah.
I think Bill Russell is right
rest my
behind him,
case.
which is why Bill Russell is number 3 for me. Zach, I'm assuming you're the same.
Correct.
Okay.
Plumber.
Yes.
Here we
The
go.
greatest
I'm
plumber.
joking.
The greatest plumber in NBA history.
Look, I'm not
Yes,
even,
that's why Wes Unseld isn't on that list. Like I told you.
I'm not even saying that you can't have Hakeem over Bill Russell. I disagree. If you want to do it, cool. Wilt cannot be above Bill Russell off of just their volume of experience against each other and what Bill did to Wilt every single time they played each other. Wilt cannot be above Bill Russell.
I'm
I wanna see how
perfectly
bad it
fine
was.
with losing that battle if I win the Hakeem battle, and that's all I care
Well, you
about.
don't win. I'm giving you you can say that if you want, but you don't win the argument. Oh wow. Regular season wise, Bill Russell is 57-37 versus Wilt Chamberlain. In the playoffs, 29-20.
That's pretty close.
Not close at all.
No.
That's a 20
Bill
point,
Russell
20
had a
game
better
difference.
team. Bill Russell had a better team.
They had a better team because Bill Russell was on it. Yeah, you're right.
What's crazy is they both averaged 23 rebounds against each other.
No, you're looking at overall stats. Wilt actually averaged 28 rebounds versus Bill Russell. You got to go scroll down.
That's
Look at
crazy.
the Wilt Chamberlain
That's
versus Bill
crazy.
Russell per game.
Damn. On 47 minutes, bro didn't come off the floor.
Yeah, he didn't come off the floor at all because he was trying to prove his ass off that he was better than Bill Russell. But by the end of the game, it was shown he was not better than Bill Russell. See, that's the dedication as a stat sheet stuffer that I'm talking about. He didn't want to come off the floor because he's like, I need my points. I need my rebounds.
He's dedicated. He's dedicated to his craft.
Dedicated to being a stat sheet stuffer. That's what he was.
Getting his ass whooped. 57-37. Goodness gracious.
Jeez, man. It's like LeBron to DeMar DeRozan level, bro. Come on.
I think we all knew what the top 2 were going to be.
Yeah.
I think we all know what the top 2 order is. At this point,
Wait, who?
one of these
who is it?
dudes is Mount Rushmore. One of these guys is a top 4 player of all time. Arguably 3.
Top 3.
I'm not even mad at that. And the other one is a top 10, maybe top 7, depending on. I'm excited to see what the full list look like.
I'm excited
when
for
you
it
guys see
too.
Klay Thompson above this dude. You're gonna hate it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
At number 2, the greatest Phoenix Sun center of all time. Actually, might even be true. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's how bad we are. Shaquille O'Neal. At number 1.
Man. You're not gonna
Lou
give it to
Alcindor, also
Alvin
known
Adams?
as- No, God, no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
bro.
know Alvin Adams is great. Alvin Adams is great. No, you know what? Take Kareem off the board. Alvin Adams, number 1.
Okay.
Shaq 2. Kareem not even on the list.
Yeah, all right, man. All right,
Tom
man.
Chambers.
Number 2 for me is clearly, obviously, Shaquille O'Neal. Cam.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay. And number 1 for all of us is, of course, another Laker.
Kareem.
Abdul-Jabbar.
Spectacles.
You can't make fun of the spectacles when you had George Mikan on this list. Have you seen his picture on Basketball Reference?
I have. It's
Okay.
a great picture. That's
Great-
why. It's the
Great
goggles for
picture.
me.
Bro looks
George
like an
Mikan's the man.
archaeologist, bro. Great picture. All right, bro.
Your science teacher back in '76.
My geometry professor.
In the search bar, when I was looking up the stats, one of the questions is, why did Will always lose to Russell?
Oh, that's great because that's accurate.
Also,
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
No, your computer just
Ow.
malfunctioned. That hurt like crazy.
What happened?
Oh, fuck.
Just all of a sudden, your mic like spiked out of nowhere, hit like 100 decibels out of nowhere.
I saw both of you go. What were we talking about when Arman said he went back to look at the reports?
Oh, that was Wes Unseld about the like even people at the time were writing that they just gave Wes Unseld the Finals MVP out of like a legacy award.
Yeah, those were just old newspaper clippings that Arman had stuffed away in a folder from the games that he was there at. I think you were on the floor, weren't you? Weren't you doing the box score stats back then?
No, I was filming the game.
Oh, you were.
Yeah.
Were you sick for Will's 100-point game? Where were you at?
Yeah,
That's what I was gonna ask.
I mean,
Hey,
well,
where were you at?
they hosted it in Hershey, Pennsylvania, so I was too busy stuffing my mouth with. Okay, never mind. Never pause. Pause.
Stuffing your mouth with chocolate.
Hey, you didn't say pause.
your mouth
You didn't
with
say
chocolate.
pause. That's crazy. You said it.
Stuffing your mouth with chocolate.
You said it. That's crazy.
We needed to do the number one first. That way we can build backwards. Because
No.
the number one's solidified at all these positions. Well, actually, point guard was the only one.
Yeah, point guard was the one difference. I still think going backwards is more fun.
Yeah.
To me, I think it's a lot more fun that way. And so we'll do the same for our top 50 players in NBA history list. We will do the same thing. We will go backwards. Probably going to go in 5-player increments, so it does not take 10 hours. We'll talk about anything that comes up and is controversial. Otherwise, if we've had conversations about the same position, we're just going to gloss over it. So be prepared for that one. That will be coming soon. Make sure you go back and watch the rest of the videos in this series if you have not already.
God damn it.
Catch up on all of our lists because we reference them a bunch, and make sure you catch up on them before that video comes out. Join the Discord if you want to be part of the community, and if you want to vote on who had the best center list that you're seeing on the screen now. So whoever had the best list, go ahead and vote on the poll in the Discord.
Yeah, my power just went out.
I am 4-0 in those polls, by the way. So if you want to change that
Because of
result,
your burner accounts.
No.
You're not slick. That's because of your burner accounts.
No,
Did Cam freeze?
That's a crazy freeze, too. Oh, I gotta put that on the OBS recording.
Why not now?
That's a crazy freeze.
This was a good one. I think we had some good debates.
Send me that. Do you know how much damage you can do with that? Oh my god.
Hakeem is better than Bill Russell, and I will die on that hill.
Oh, that's
I
funny.
need to screenshot it. Screenshot it on my computer. I'm clipping it.
I think of any of our videos, we've had our best debates, we've had our best conversations.
Where did he go?
I think all of us were very well researched for this one, so I'm very impressed with all of us, especially Zach.
Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? That I'm gonna just put that in his box on the outro. I'm gonna put that in the box.
I'll see you guys in the next one.
That's a crazy picture. Oh man, bro got caught mid yawn.
All right, so if you make sure to join the Discord to be part of the community, vote on who had the best list. Hit that subscribe button. We are over 1,500 on the YouTube now. We are growing strong, but get us to 2,000. We would very much appreciate it, and we want you to be here for our next video. So make sure you hit that bell as well to be notified when that top 50 list comes out. We'll see you later. Peace.
Peace.
What are we doing, man? Cutting my power off, dude. Come on, man.
Feel all the balls on your back and neck.
God damn, my balls hurt.